In this video, we are going to show you how you can create your own custom channel grouping. First, we are going to explain what is a custom channel grouping, and next we are going to explain how you can create your own in the BigQuery interface. And finally, we are going to show you how you can visualize the data in Looker Studio. So without further ado, let's get into this video. As you can see, we are in a GA4 property, and as you can see, each custom channel grouping is linked to a specific rule. If the traffic meets the condition, a simple example would be Google CPC. If the source of the traffic is Google, Baidu, or another search platform, and the medium is a paid medium like CPC, we'll have paid search. We are in Google's documentation for custom channel groups, and we are trying to understand how each channel is defined, and that's what we are going to use in the next section when we are trying to create our own query with a bit of modification to kind of adapt it to our own needs. Now, after we talked a little bit about how GA4 structures the channel groupings within the interface, we are going to do the same thing using BigQuery. One thing you should know is that BigQuery does not store the custom channel grouping. You have the source, medium, in campaign as standalone dimensions, but you need to create the custom channel grouping using a query, and that's exactly what we are going to do, starting by extracting the session medium in campaign. So I am going to head to the table just to show you the structure of events in BigQuery. So I'm going to head to events. Here I have a bunch of parameters. I have my events here, and you can see that the information is nested within the event. So here is the source, here is the campaign, and the medium just right under the page title. So I'm going to try to get this information. We'll be using a subquery. So just to explain a little bit what I've done, this is a scalar query. It's like a query within a query, because we said earlier that the parameters source, medium, in campaign are nested. So you need to use a subquery to get this information. And honestly, you just need to remember kind of the structure. You can use the same structure to get any kind of nested information for the GA4 schema. I just remember how to do the query, and you can use it over and over again. I will use the exact same structure. The only thing that will change is the name of the key here. Let's run the query just to give you an idea of how this looks like. So you can see that there are a bunch of rows where there is a no value, which is normal, and there are some rows where we have some kind of information. Our query is working as expected. We have the information. Now I will add other metrics. For instance, I want to know the number of unique users, and I want to add a date dimension. So that's exactly what we are going to do. I will start from under select just to keep the order I want. I will go ahead and add the event date, and you need to parse the event date in order for this to work. The current structure of event dates will not do it in export. You need to format it properly. So I will use a function. It's called parse date as event date, and here I will add the structure I want or the format I want, and I'm going to run the query. So as you can see, it's a bit different from what we had earlier, and this will help us later on in Looker Studio because it will recognize this as a proper date field. The next thing I will do is add the number of unique users. In order to do so, I need to use the function count, and next to it distinct, which count the unique values. In here I will add the user. In here I get an error message because the query is not grouped by the dimensions. You will no longer have the issue because I've added the count function, and the function will aggregate the data. So once I run this, I have zero problems, but I still need to do the custom channel grouping but at least I have now the required fields. We are going to use the starting query, as we label it, to use the fields within this first query to create our own custom channel grouping. Now, after defining the base query, we are going to use the session medium and the session source to define each channel in the second query. So we are going to do this using the case function, and each statement that starts with when will define a particular channel. So we will write the query first, and then we will break it down. The query will first check the session source. If it's either not set or direct or no, same thing goes for medium, then the traffic will be attributed to direct. You can see that here we have some conditions that are met. So for instance, both session medium and session source are no, and then we have the direct. For others, it's not the case. We've got an empty channel group. We are going to add multiple conditions to kind of add the other channel groups. As you can see, I've added other channel groups besides the direct channel group I created earlier. And as you can see, I did not stick to the custom channel groups that are defined by GA4, but I created my own because, let's say, I'm using LinkedIn a lot and I want to see it as a separate channel group. So I created LinkedIn, and then I created another channel group for other social media because they are not nearly as important as LinkedIn for us. This is just to tell you that you do not have to stick to the exact definition by GA4 and make the custom channel group relevant to the channels that you are using on a daily basis. Once you are satisfied with the query, we can run it just to see how this looks like. So I have here the different channel groups, and the last step is to save the results as a BigQuery table, and we are going to choose the dataset that we are interested in and give this a name. So channel group 2. And now I will head to Looker Studio and link the second channel group I created, and here it is. I will reconnect. And now, as you can see, we have the channel group and I can add unique users, and I have here my definitions. So that's how you create custom channel groups using BigQuery in Looker Studio. By now, you understand how you can create your own custom channel group. Keep in mind that the rules you will find in GA4 to define a custom channel grouping is not some hard set rules that you need to follow. You can customize each channel according to your own needs. If you like this video and want to see more of this content, please consider subscribing and liking. I will see you next time.